This is a Youth with a Purpose. You're watching Dream TV, Doxa TV, and as well listening to us on Impact FM 98.4 Kampala, 101.5, that is Masaka, 107.6, that is Jinja, and 103.7 Mbale, and as well on our social media platforms, Dream TV, Uganda, Doxa TV, National or Uganda, and on our website, www.imc.ug. Well, in this program, this is the vision of our presiding apostle and managing director of this media, Impact Media Consortium. At his age and the experience he has and the love he has for Uganda, he came to the realization of one thing, that as a nation, Uganda, God has blessed us with young people who are energetic, young people who need to do something. And one of the key questions that come to us every now and then is, among these many young men and women who are in Uganda, how many of them are of purpose? Yes, we can jubilate. Yes, we can be happy that we have young people in our nation. But that to him is not enough. We need men, young men and women who are of purpose. That is why we have this program, Youth with a Purpose. Remember way back when we started with Mr. Godfrey Chiwanda, when he started talking about you as a young man, you have the energy, and he was asking a question every now and then, how are you utilizing that energy that you have? It is the same thing we have built on with Teacher Kamwada, with Pastor Zake, with Pastor Joshua, and many other people that we bring in once in a while who come here and teach you and talk to you. What are we looking out for? The vision bearer of this program, Dr. Joseph Serada, he wants us to make you a youth with a purpose. We have many young men and women in this nation, over 70%. It is on record. It is statistical that Uganda has got young men and women, but the statistics don't show us how many of them are of purpose. Now, we are doing this to make sure that reports come out and say, Uganda in every office, Uganda in every department, Uganda in every sphere of life, they have got young men and women who are of purpose. Therefore, parents who are listening and watching, if you have your young men and women, please allow them to watch that TV. Allow them to listen to Impact FM. Allow them to listen to this program. Let them learn, because we are undoing some of the things that maybe those young men think they are supposed to live with. For example, today we are going to talk about youth-led reforms. Youth-led reforms. Why? Because we want to build better lives for Uganda. And how can we build better lives for Uganda? We have to start from making reforms. We have to make some reforms in our lives. And you as a young man, young woman, if you don't make such reforms, it's going to be hard for you to live in a better life in Uganda. It will be hard for you. It will be hard for you to be successful. Okay? Remember, one of my hashtag and our key topic here is succeeding from where others fail. Succeeding from where others fail. How do you succeed from where others fail? By making some of the youth-led reforms. And when we talk about reforms, people tend to think about government reforms. Like we tend to immediately go to government. Well, what are youth-led reforms. Because I said when we talk about reforms, are we only talking about changing government? Or can reforms begin with changing how we live, work, and think? It's a question I want to start with today. When we talk about youth-led reforms, what comes to your mind? Are you thinking of kujjawo NRM mulete NUP oba mulete UPC? UPC kyayinza okujja oba mulete DP number byemenya byonna nga ndaba bikambwe. Are you thinking about changing NRM and then reforming, NRM muletewo kyekiriko kati NUP yaliko ekyaliko yo simanyi mwe mubimanyi eyo mwe mubibeeramu eyo. Or we are actually saying let the reforms begin with you. Let it begin with you. How you live, how you work, and how you think. Now, I am speaking to young men and women who are already, some of you already have what to do. Some of you are at school. Okay, as you're at school, you're at university, you're in your final year, you're in your second year, or you have just joined university, but you have a way of living. You have something you do. You're working somewhere. Some of you, you think, but how are you thinking? Now, the reforms I am talking about today must begin with the way the way we live with people. Abantu bobeera nabo gwenga gwo muvubuka tugenda kutandikira twekolemu tweddabululuke twezze bujja twekolemu omulimu wabeerewo ebikyuka. Okay, wabeerewo ebikyuka nga bitandika n'engeri gy'otambuzaamu obulamu, the way you live. Ojja kulaba nti right now in our nation engeri abavubuka gye babeeramu olabira ddala nga twetaaga reform in there. The way we work. Wafuna omulimu li myaka 3, myaka 25, myaka 22, nawulidde UPDF eri mkulanga eyagala ba 22 simane 2 abwe wato na 25. Kakati ofunye omulimu mu UPDF baludda ba mu kitongole kyonna. How are you handling that work? How are you maintaining that work? How are you managing that work? Omulimu ogwo ligukolako otya? Thirdly, how you think. Thinking, your mindset. Engeri gy'olowoozaamu. So these reforms, as we are going to talk about them with the director, can go through the education, employment, agriculture, technology, governance, environmental protection, health, and community development. When we as young men and women make changes or do reforms in those aspects, in those spheres I've told you, definitely you're gonna live a better life in Uganda, in East Africa, in Africa, and in the world. That's why I told you there are young men and women who are succeeding from where others are failing. They are because for them, they are making reforms in their lives. Bo mu bulamu bwabwe balina bye bakyusa mu bulamu bwabwe. Kino nze sijja kukikola oba bwe mba nkola omulimu nyina gukola bulala, endowooza ye nga ndala. When we do that, definitely obulamu tebujja kusigala kyekimu. Mr. Benon Ntambi, he's the Managing Director for Munta Royal College and Royal Giant High School. He's a Rotarian and at the same time he's a chairman of board at Buganda Cultural Heritage.
Buganda Heritage
Buganda Heritage Tourism. Yes. It's good to have you this morning. Could you please greet our viewers and our listeners?
Our viewers and listeners, I'm humbled to be on this platform and I'm very happy to be here in the interest of youths and the entire generation. I extend the greetings to you in the mighty name of the high living Jesus Christ. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are things at Munta?
Munta is okay. They've sent you greetings and they are busy listening. to hear what we say today.
Yeah, you're so passionate about young men and women.
Yes.
It is the vision of our managing director and vision bearer for this program, Youth with a Purpose. And my recent discussion with you, you talked about there are things that as young men we must reform in our lives.
Yes.
And that's why we came up with the topic youth-led reforms,
Yes.
building better lives in Uganda.
Yeah.
When we talk about that, could you now take us through that? When we talk about youth-led reforms, what do we talk about and what do you want us to reform?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mlanzi.
Yes.
When you talk about reform, it means there is a situation you are in that is uncalled for and you need to change it. That is a reform. Ideally, I am in this position, I need to be in this position, these are the things I need to do. When I look at the youths today, when I look at not only the youths, many people in this country today, in Africa, even world over, youths have a challenge that they have a mind that is not taking them to where they want to be. The mindset is where we need to change. And if you're going to change the mindset, there are several things we must avoid.
I've had people talk about mindset actually, but could you please explain to us or describe or define for us what is mindset?
You know, there are 5 levels of poverty.
Uh-huh.
There is spirit poverty.
That is one.
There is spirit poverty. There is mindset poverty. There is lifestyle poverty. There is habit poverty. And there is a poverty in the state of appearance. So those levels of poverty all depend upon your level of, upon your mindset and how you have been tailored. You see, we have a makeup. Everyone has been made in a different way. But unless you change your way and you look at things differently, there are some levels you can never be. And that is a very serious thing. Today, I want to talk about the areas where I think without failure, we must change the mindset. Let's look at the wrong mentality. The nomadic mentality. People have a nomadic mentality. There are people who in the last 15 years have done 15 things and have gotten no result.
In the last 15
In the last 15 years,
you have done 15
somebody
things,
has been
no
in
result.
15 jobs. In the last 15 years, somebody has done 15 projects. He starts a salon, it doesn't work out. Tomorrow you find him in tour and travel, it doesn't work out. The other day he opens a bar, it doesn't work out. The other day every year he's opening a new business. When you have that nomadic mentality, that is a package of poverty. That's a package of lack of prosperity. Where do you focus? If you focus yourself on one particular thing for some 5 years, that's when you can be able to see progression. But that nomadic mentality is one of the key things that has to change in people's minds.
Is it, can we also compare it to, because I've had people say in Uganda for you to start a job and a business, not a job, for you to start a business and it lasts for a year or 6 months, you must jubilate. You must make a party for it. So the nomadic mentality, is it what is also stopping us from, keeping our businesses thrive and survive?
Yeah, because ideally it is, because people want to begin business and they see prosperity tomorrow.
Oh.
They see prosperity next month. They see prosperity next year. But that's not how business works. Business requires focus, requires planning. That's another topic for another day. How do you plan your business? How do you monitor? And that's a very big topic. But today, I want to talk about those 5 factors which really keep us behind. I started by nomadic mentality. People who start a business and they keep moving from one business to another, to another, to another. This doesn't work. I was deceived. Where do you focus? You have to decide that I am going to do this. I am going to do a salon. And I'll do this salon to perfection or I'll die trying. Period.
That means you're not a nomad.
You're not a nomad. You see, nomadics are the people who rear cattle all over the country, and they don't own any title, they don't own any land. So when I compare that to nomadic mentality, that's the mentality you have. You don't own any vision, you don't own any focus, you don't own anything. There's nothing you want to see apart from the little money you have put in, and you want it to be multiplied tomorrow, but you do not have the business at heart.
You're a young man without purpose.
Exactly.
You're just purposeless,
so it's
aimless.
Your mindset.
Yeah.
The second one, I'm trying to be a little bit quick, is the consumer mentality.
What's that?
We are living in a situation where when people earn money, money starts pushing them to spend it.
Oh.
When you get $1 million shillings,
I want to consume
you don't rest until it is zero. That consumer mentality.
And
you see, people tend to, you see, your grandfather had the same mentality. You have the same mentality. And you start calling it a generational curse. It's not a generational curse.
It is my consumer mentality.
It's a generation mentality. And someone has to change it.
Actually, you should say, director, it is a generational consumer mentality.
It is a generational choice.
Choice.
Your line has chosen to do that. And when you get money, it's like money is pushing you to spend it. That consumer mentality is terrible. And the consumer mentality does not, they don't spend money on valuable things. They spend money on things that excite their mindset.
Owensenene bwayitawo leeta. Owengatto bwayitawo wasirika.
Bwafuna yakakadde bwagenda ng'ayita mikono gye nga batula mu bbaala basooka kkanywa ne bakamalawo. Eyo gye consumer mentality gye njogerako. Bw'afuna akasente, olusente oluyingira mu nsawo nga gundi no yankubira nga yagalayo ebiri, gundi yankubira nga afiiriddwa. Bw'atuuka mu contributions embaga nga yafunye kakadde yakateebye, tekimugana kuwaayo nkaaga.
Nze mbawadde nkaaga.
Ye consumer mentality. Naye ng'enkaaga gy'awadde akakadde akanoonyezza okumala emyaka ng'ebiri n'akafuna n'akateeba. But because that's a consumer mentality, he will consume it up to zero, and then he thinks again, where do I get the money from?
Nabadde n'owa board gulo n'angamba waliwo boda ze baleese director.
Yes.
Tezinywa amafuta za masannyalaze bateekako battery. Consumer mentality gy'oyogedde njijjukidde nga twogera. N'angamba okimanyi nti kati gye njagala gye ŋŋenda. Ne mugamba lwaki? Kanaana kokka zinga nvuga ŋŋenda gye njagala. Nvako abasandako nze ova kukolayo ki? Badde ngenze kubalabako. Konze akanaana kakuwadde mmeka? Bw'ogenzeko abasanda ofunyeeyo mmeka?
N'atamanyi nti akanaana ako kalina okugattako ziwere. Kati eyo consumer mentality bw'ofuna ekintu ate ne kaboda ako kaavuga n'akatwala ek'abasanda kalina wear and tear. Naye tagibaze yabaze mafuta.
Yabaze mafuta nti yagawonye, oyiro yamuwonye kuba tenywa oyiro tekola kati yalaba ebyo nabiwonye. Consumer mentality, yes.
Kati that line follows people. And someone, the grandfather had the same mentality, the father has the same mentality, you have the same mentality, your children have the same mentality, and they call it a generational curse. It's not a generational curse, it's a generational choice.
You chose it.
You chose it. Now, the other challenge you have is victim mentality.
But also make this clear. You told me last time in our private conversation that rich men and women don't have that mentality.
Of course, we are going to talk about this. I'm talking about people out there. People who are out there listening to me. I am talking about the youth today and what is stopping them from prosperity. What is blocking them from reaching their full potential? Why are they poor? And the generation has been poor from your grandfather to you. So I'm picking out a few areas which are a problem. One, I started by nomadic mentality. I'm talking about the consumer mentality. Now I'm sharing with you the victim mentality. There are people who have decided to live as victims.
Oh.
They choose to be victims of circumstances. Do you know that up till today, there are people in Luweero who say it is because of the war that they don't have what they want. The war that ended 40 years ago. Abantu beruweero bakyalwekwaza.
Yeah.
Victim. ate nze olaba otwala lwatuyitamu biki n'anyumya ebyo naye nga otwala lwaliwo nga tannazaalwa
anyumye ebyo akaaba
victim mentality he has that mindset
abaakosebwa baafa dda n'obaziika yabaziika
teyabaziika nako
n'obaziika teyabaziika
kuba yali muto oba yali tannazaalwa because 40 years is a long time ago naye granny we yafa naga nti tamanyi ate ettaka lya taata baayitunda biki ne banyumya ebyo. That mentality is a victim mentality. You claim to be a victim of circumstances. There are people who still complain that that COVID
hit me so much.
COVID
I can't do anything.
COVID hit them so much, and that's the victim mentality. And that mindset is what we are here fighting to change in the youths. Someone will tell you, see, because of COVID, my business was lost. I lost the customers.
I lost the job.
Hey, so what? So what? You have to forget about the past and start again. And because these challenges affect people every day. There are people who have lost businesses because of the Kampala cleaning project.
The trade order.
Yes, they can decide to live with that mentality. You see, I lost property in trade order. I lost my venue in trade order. I lost the site. I was evicted. And you live in that mentality for eternity. Or you can make a choice and say, this has happened, what next? I always tell people, it's not what happens to you that matters most. It's what you do about it.
Okay, because it has already happened.
Yes.
Now, how you handle it, what you do after it has happened, matters.
Yes. Yeah. I remember there's a certain gentleman, and I want to give a small story about that. Yeah. There's a certain gentleman who was going for an interview. And when he came, he was living in a story house. When he came down, his little son was taking porridge. And he ran to him, and he poured porridge on his suit. And the gentleman got so annoyed and he slapped the boy. Ooh. The boy ran running to the mother. The mother was so bitter. The gentleman went back to the room to dress up, to find the wife, and they go for. The wife was going for work, dropping him for the interview. By the time he came down, the wife was so irate. He had put the boy in the vehicle and had driven off. So this gentleman didn't have a vehicle anymore. To take him to the interview. Yeah. He arrived at the interview late and he never got the job.
Just a slap and get annoyed.
Yet you could have cuddled this kid and say, oh, sorry, I know you didn't intend it. And then he rushes down. Honey, wait for me. And the lady wouldn't be irate. So what happens to you is not as important as what you do about it.
Yes.
So the choice is yours. If you choose to be a victim, you'll be a victim forever.
If I don't choose to be a victim, I'll never be.
You never be.
Wow.
So the victim mentality is putting people backward. People have a victim mentality. They give excuses.
I'm not coming from Ntambi's family.
You see, the tata wange mwavu, mama wange
siva mwa Ntambi.
Siva mwa Ntambi. Nenga Ntambi tomanyi we yatandikira. Okitegedde.
Singa kale nazaliwa mwami Ntambi.
Agenda akuzale mu batisimu. Okitegeera. So that mentality is a wrong. Omanyi kati waffe baavu, omanyi waffe teri alina kintu kyonna. Kati nze ntandikira wasina capital.
Omanyi mwami Sentamu taata wa mwami Kyagulanyi.
Yes.
Yali nnyo mukwano gwa jjajja wange. Kati nga yamugulako n'emmwanyi.
Yes.
Kati batuuka okunzaala mu batiisimu. Jjajja alemera ku mwami Sentamu olw'okuba ye mugagga yaliko ku kyalo Eggomba. Mbu yabanzaala ku batiisimu e Bukalagi.
Okitegeera.
Naye n'amugamba nzadde bangi.
Nzadde bangi kankomawo ndi ku family planning y'abatiisimu. Okitegeera.
Naye mudagedde yali ano olw'okuba alaba mbu olw'okuba oli mugagga. Alowooza nti bw'ananzaala ku batiisimu. That's how nedda.
That's victim mentality. Now you see the problem with victim mentality. Excuses are a trademark of failure.
No, say that again.
Excuses are a trademark of failure. Excuses are a trademark of failure. If you want to go far in life, refrain from giving excuses.
Just own.
Some people give excuses and they call them reasons. Yes, but they are not. You see, the reason I'm not able to do this is because I was born in an underprivileged family. Olinaga nti nze mbasanga kukubaawo naga manyi mpayo ndi mulekwa sina bakadde tata yafa ne mama yafa nomuza nawe wafa nawe wafa
emikono
tolina emikono ebiri olina amagulu abiri buli kimu okirina. Yes, your victim mentality. Tugende kukiddako.
You just made a very key point. Yes. And I want it to sink into the lives of young men and women.
Yes, sir.
Excuses
are a trademark of failure. Yes. The moment you give excuses, you must know that you are branding yourself as a failure.
Hey.
The moment you give excuses, even at work, you are late, you give excuses, you see a traffic, you see president convoy tukute. Those are trademarks of failure. Any excuse you give is a trademark of failure.
So, director, just think about this young man and woman who is in the mix, already in the mix of making excuses.
Yes.
Which advice do you give?
Njagala okuwa ekyokulabirako. Ntuuse wali nensanga convoy ya president. Nenva mu motoka nenfuna boda. Boda ne bagigaana okusala. Nensala nze.
Kubigere
nfune endala. That's why I'm able to be here. I would have told you, you see, I tell you no, the convoy of the president delayed me. I was not able to be here. But I'm here, delivering the message. I think that picks out a very good picture. But people will give excuses why they are late. I parked my vehicle on the side and I picked a boda. Now I call the driver to go and pick it. He will find me here. But you see, there will always be excuses.
And if you look for
them, the choice to give them is yours. There will always be excuses.
And the situations where when you give, you see that when you give it, it makes sense according to you.
You arrive at office late, you give an excuse. You go back home late, you give an excuse. You wake up late, you give an excuse. The day will be full of excuses. But that excuse mentality is not taking us anywhere. It's not taking you anywhere. It's only you are being trademarked as a failure. Someone appoints you to be the chairman of his wedding.
You're coming late.
And you come late for the meetings. Yet you are supposed to be there before the meeting starts. Nayo excuse ate kati omanyi wane waffe wabaddewo oluguudo bali mukulukola. You are disappointing the bride. In the process, you are creating a trademark nti obwomu obwa chairman tasobola kubaako kyakkolera. Omanyi ki ekiba kikufiiriza?
No, because the young men you're talking to, they are going to be given responsibilities.
Exactly.
They are going to lead in education, in government, But if our trademark is giving excuses, automatically we cannot.
You are a failure. Anybody who gives excuses. Nze omuzadde bw'ampa omwana musuubiza nti omwana we agenda kuyita.
Teri excuse ntajja kuyita.
Era bwaba w'ekinaalemesa okuyita nga nkiraba omuyita mangu ne mugamba jja tutunulire kino. Omwana wo nga tayagala kukola homework. Omwana wo nga takola assignments. Nga tabeera mu discussions. Omwana wo nga takola exams. Nga talina notes.
Gwe beeyitira.
Nze mbeeyitira.
Ne HM tannabayita.
Nga ne HM tannabayita nze mbeeyitira.
Director gwe beeyitira.
Yes. Naye ne system weeri buli class plan I know making sure that process works out properly. You understand?
Yeah.
So when I say nze, sitegeeza nti me in person. But the system has to. Because when omwana bw'amala okugwa, mba sikyasobola muzza kufixinga gaps ezo. Kati mufo ky'okulinda okuwa omuzadde nti omanye ekyana kyo kyagwa, tekyakolanga homework, muyita before, so that it does not become a reason. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So people should know that instead of giving excuse, which will eventually become their trademark, they should arrest those excuses on the way to the top.
To the top. Director.
Yes, sir.
Ebiwooma bigwa byokya. Olowooza tugenda komaawo.
nga tudduse mangu
dakiika zeezo
obudde buweddeko
message emyuka gye mba nsoma.
yes
Tell director that the reason we did science is that we are determined to hard learning area. We were determined to the hard learning area. Ndoza eya STEM. Tikati abakola science bo bagamfe twali bamalirivu nnyo. Bwoba toli mu malirivu nesa ogamba nze sijja zisobola
mbayoza naye okola science n'ogguka science wakuwera qualification tekimala kati gattamu bino ebirungo byetuliko bino
bikutereeze bulungi.
bw'onookola sciences n'oba wakola science naye ng'okyalina nomadic mentality, you still remain a nomad.
You talked about nomadic mentality, consumer mentality,
kati ntaddeko ne
victims mentality.
There are about 6 mentalities. We shall come back and talk about others.
Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Yes,
I hope young men and women, you've learned something today. Let me leave you with just one question, our viewers, especially you, the young man. What is that in your life that you see, basing on what director has said, if you change it, everything is gonna change in your life, in your community, and in our country? What is that? Think about it. Is it the nomadic mentality you've been having? Is it the consumer mentality or the victim's mentality? Change it and see if things will not change. Bye-bye.